Step into the shadows of an underground world, where mysteries dwell and ancient rituals echo through time. Discover the chilling tale of an encounter that plunged me into a realm of secrets, fear, and an unimaginable society hidden from the world's eye. But before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the story to your friends. Enjoyable viewing. Once upon a time, in a hidden underground place, I found myself surrounded by darkness. My heart raced like a horse running wild. The air was thick, filled with an eerie silence. I stumbled upon a secret society, cloaked in shadows, an ancient ritualistic group unknown to the world. A cold sweat covered my body as I saw strange symbols etched on the walls, glowing faintly in the dim light. I sensed something was wrong, terribly wrong. I dared not make a sound, afraid I'd disturb the unsettling quiet. Then, a chilling scream pierced the air, sending shivers down my spine. My legs trembled as I tried to find the source. Suddenly, I glimpsed a hooded figure, their eyes gleaming with an unearthly light. Fear swallowed me whole. In a panic, I hid behind an old stone pillar, peering cautiously. The figure carried an eerie, curved blade, stained with crimson. They moved with an otherworldly grace, as if dancing to a macabre tune. A group of hooded individuals gathered in a circle, chanting in a language I couldn't comprehend. Dread filled the air. I felt trapped, like a mouse cornered by a hungry cat. In the center of the circle lay a victim, lifeless and still. The chilling realization struck me. It was a murder, a ritual sacrifice. My throat tightened, and I struggled to hold back a horrified gasp. The hooded figure raised the blood-stained blade, and the chanting grew louder, more intense. The air crackled with an ominous energy. My mind raced, trying to make sense of the ghastly scene unfolding before my eyes. As the blade descended, a sudden jolt of terror froze me in place. The victim's body convulsed, a grotesque display of the life taken. I felt sickened, the sight etching itself into my memory, haunting me. My only instinct was to escape this nightmarish realm. I inched away, careful not to make a sound. Each step was a battle against the pounding of my heart, echoing in the suffocating silence. But just as I thought I'd slipped away, a bone-chilling voice whispered from the shadows, "You've seen too much." Panic surged through me, adrenaline urging me to flee. I sprinted through the labyrinthine passages, the sound of my own terrified breaths ringing in my ears. I stumbled upon a narrow, rusted staircase leading upward. Hope flickered within me, urging me to ascend to safety. But the dread lingered like a ghost at my heels. As I reached the top, a heavy door blocked my way. With trembling hands, I pushed and pushed, but it refused to budge. Tears of fear welled in my eyes, blurring my vision. Desperation overtook me, and I pounded on the unyielding door, shouting for help, hoping someone, anyone, would rescue me from this living nightmare. Suddenly, the door creaked open, and I spilled out into the moonlit night, gasping for air. My heart raced, and I stumbled away from that accursed place, away from the horror I'd witnessed. Oh, this day, the memory haunts me like a relentless spectre. I can never forget the terrifying sight of the murder in that underground secret society, where the killer was part of an ancient, chilling ritualistic group. The chilling events of that night seared themselves into my mind. Like a brand, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, as if unseen eyes followed my every move. The memory of the hooded figure and the grisly sacrifice replayed in my thoughts, haunting my dreams. I attempted to rationalize it, convince myself it was a hallucination, a nightmare that had blurred the lines of reality. But the vividness of the experience, the palpable fear that gripped me, refused to fade. I became obsessed with uncovering the truth, driven by an insatiable need to understand what I'd stumbled upon. I scoured the internet, delved into ancient texts, seeking any clue that could shed light on the enigmatic society and their rituals. Days turned to sleepless nights as I dug deeper, piecing together fragmentary information that hinted at secretive cults, their arcane practices, and forbidden knowledge. I found obscure references to similar rituals and whispered tales. The more I unearthed, the more my fear grew. Like a relentless tide, it was as if I had uncovered a Pandora's box of darkness, unleashing horrors that should have remained buried. Strange occurrences plagued me, a rustle in the night that echoed like a sinister whisper, unexplained shadows dancing in the periphery of my vision. Paranoia gnawed at my sanity, making me question every shadow, every noise. I sought refuge in the comfort of daylight, yet even the sun's warmth couldn't banish the cold grip of fear that enveloped me. I felt like a fugitive, constantly looking over my shoulder, expecting the hooded figure to emerge from the shadows at any moment. I became a recluse, locking myself away from the world, consumed by the haunting memory of that underground society. The once familiar world around me seemed distorted, tinged with an otherworldly hue that made everything appear sinister. The sense of impending doom loomed over me like a storm cloud, threatening to unleash its fury at any moment. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being drawn back into the terrifying web of that secret society, as if I were entangled in a dark, unseen force beyond my control. No matter how hard I tried to forget, the horrifying truth remained: a murder in that hidden realm, where an ancient ritualistic group practiced their macabre ceremonies, hidden from the eyes of the world. The fear, the horror, and the feeling of being forever marked by that night persisted. The more I sought to distance myself from that nightmarish encounter, the more it seemed to pull me back in. It was as though the shadows themselves whispered my name, beckoning me toward the unknown. Haunted by the images of the sacrifice, the chanting, and the hooded figure, I knew I had to confront this fear, to face the darkness that threatened to consume me, summoning a courage I didn't know I possessed. I made a choice, a dangerous one. I decided to return to the place where it all began, to the underground labyrinth that housed a secret society. It was a reckoning I couldn't avoid. With each step toward that foreboding location, my heart thrummed like a thunderous drumbeat. Fear and adrenaline churned within me, creating a tumultuous storm that raged as I ventured back into the depths. The passages felt familiar, yet unnervingly foreign, as if they had morphed in the time since my escape. The air thickened with a sense of foreboding, pressing against me like a physical force. I retraced my steps, following the twisted maze until I reached the heart of the clandestine society, the place where life had been taken, where ancient rituals were enacted with chilling precision. As I stood in the center of that macabre circle, dread descended upon me like a suffocating blanket. The memories flooded back, engulfing me in a whirlpool of terror and revulsion. I searched for any clue that might unravel the mysteries shrouded in this underground domain, but just as before, an eerie silence blanketed the space, as if the very walls withheld their secrets. Suddenly, a movement in the shadows caught my eye. My heart skipped a beat, and I tensed, ready to flee. But instead of a threat, a figure emerged, a hooded silhouette, its gait familiar. It approached with an otherworldly grace, and as the figure drew nearer, a jolt of recognition shot through me. It wasn't a menacing presence, it was someone I knew, someone from my past. Their voice, muffled by the hood, whispered, "You've returned." I steeled myself, mustering the courage to confront this enigmatic individual. I demanded answers, to understand the purpose behind the chilling rituals, the sacrifice, and the horrifying events I'd witnessed. The figure, shrouded in mystery, revealed that the rituals were part of an ancient tradition, a misunderstood rite meant to preserve a balance as old as time itself. They spoke of forces beyond human comprehension, of a duty to maintain the delicate equilibrium between realms. My mind reeled, trying to grasp the weight of these revelations. The horror of that night began to reshape itself into something more complex, something beyond the realm of simple fear. I realized the society wasn't inherently malevolent, but guardians of a knowledge that transcended the boundaries of ordinary understanding. The sacrifice, a solemn act meant to appease forces that lay beyond the grasp of mortal comprehension. As I left that hidden domain, a strange sense of acceptance mingled with the remnants of fear. The darkness I had perceived was, in fact, a misunderstood fragment of a vast, intricate tapestry that governed the unknown. The world around me didn't change, but my perception of it did. I carried with me the knowledge of that hidden society, a deeper understanding of the cryptic forces that shape our reality. Though the fear persisted, it was no longer a paralyzing force. It became a reminder of the unseen mysteries that coexist with our known world, a realization that the veil between what we know and what lies beyond is thinner than we dare to imagine. My tale, once a terrifying horror story, transformed into a narrative of revelation and understanding. The murder in that secret underground society was no longer a tale of senseless violence, but a fragment in the chronicles of an enigmatic existence beyond our understanding. Dear viewer, we can learn from the story that confronting fear and seeking understanding beyond initial impressions can reveal deeper truths. By questioning the unknown, one can transcend initial fears and gain insight into the complex forces shaping our reality, ultimately reshaping our perception of the world. This is the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.